all the time, and it doesn't matter what they're talking about. They come to me at the beginning of the session, they get clear on what it is they want, and one of the easiest things to do is really get clear about, well, how can you give that? If you want something, give it, right? If you want love, if you want more love in your life, then give it. Give love. If you feel like you want people to communicate better with you, or stop yelling, then stop yelling, or start working on your communicating skills, right? It's a yin and yang. So if you want something, if you're feeling like with your business, like no one ever sends you referrals or talks to you at networking events, right? Feel like you're really isolated, no one's helping you, then talk to other people. Send other people referrals. Ask other people to go grab coffee, right? Reach out to them. It's a two-way street, and it really opens up the flow. A lot of my clients hire me because they want more business, right? They want more customers, more opportunities in their career. And one of the first of many aha moments that they have with me is that they've been having unrealistic expectations, okay? And I'll explain what I mean by that. Here's an example, right? When you spot someone that you like across a crowded room, like there's some guy or some girl that you think is so hot, right? And let's presume you're not married or in a relationship. Do you walk across the room and ask them to marry you? Probably not, right? Right? They probably think you're crazy and steer clear of you right after that. But so often, what happens is people go to networking events or they pick up the phone and call someone expecting them to buy their product or service or to offer them that wonderful opportunity right off the bat. Now, excuse me, most people, they're carrying around these expectations. But a lot of times, these expectations that people are going to buy or that right away off the bat something's going to happen, those expectations are in their subconscious. So it's a little bit sneaky. But one way to know for sure is to ask yourself ahead of time, before you go to that networking event, before you go, what are your expectations? Before you go to the chamber mixer, right? Or before you pick up the phone to make that cold call, what are your expectations? Really getting them on the table makes a big difference. And if you don't know what they are, then coming up with some specific expectations is going to really help you with this.
Sure.
I don't know if you guys know, I say this all the time, so if you've heard me before, you're familiar with this, but on average, all right, and these numbers are changing all the time, so I wouldn't doubt if it's more now, but on average, it takes 25 to 28 interactions with the same person, and I'll say that again, 25 to 28 interactions with the same person before they buy or refer you or offer you that big break you've been hoping for. It's about building relationships. And what that means? It means it's about give and take, giving and receiving back and forth 25 to 28 times. Most people get stuck with how to interact. A lot of times clients really just don't know how to go beyond getting the business card and saying it was nice to meet you. And so I spend a lot of time brainstorming with clients on how to interact authentically, because I'm not about being sneaky and pushy and sly. So how to interact authentically and how to add value through the interactions. How to give. Because adding giving, let's rewind. Adding giving and consistent evolutionary action, if you have those two things, then you have the ingredients to building strong, authentic relationships. So the ingredients for strong, authentic relationships in your business or your personal life are about giving and adding value and about consistent evolutionary action, about being consistent with it. Let me give you an example of this. One of my core values is to create, okay? It doesn't matter what I do, and it's laughable sometimes, but I'm going to always add creativity to the mix. I love to create. This webinar right here tonight, this is a great example of that, right? I mean, I am having such a wonderful time, I have to tell you guys. I'm having a blast researching and writing the content, playing with technology. That is my vice right there. I love being on top of technologies and really being clear on what's working in technology and new systems, and I love working on that stuff with my clients too. And I've also really enjoyed picking out the meditations and the music and really honoring my core value of creativity. And at the same time, I'm giving this gift to you that are all listening. It feels wonderful. It's really a win-win situation. Here's a quick tip for you, all right? If there's someone you met recently who you connected with, you liked them, and you'd like to build a professional or a personal relationship with them, this works either way, okay? How about sending them the link to the replay or the information for this series of success webinars? Why do that? Well, you'll be interacting with them, right? That's a way to interact with them beyond going, hey, how are you doing, right? Or it was nice to meet you. You'll be interacting with them, and you'll be adding value at the same time. Because if they enjoy the webinars, they'll remember you as the source. And then another idea is next week you can check in and you can see how they like the webinar. It's a reason to connect with them again. And if they do listen to it, and if they do connect with this material, which, not everybody will, but I'm guessing that if you connect with them and you have a good sense of the right person to send the link to, it's highly likely that you're going to develop a dialogue about the information tonight. And that's another interaction. And that's an interaction which is more than likely will lead to a call or an in-person meeting. So right there, you've made a really nice dent just with this one tip in the 25 to 20 interactions. And that's how it works. It's really being clear and specific about how you're interacting with people. Now, if you're looking for some ideas on how you can get started with the giving, I'm going to give you Deepak has these ideas, and I've just broken it down here, to use as a framework, okay? You can give joy. You can give love. You can give laughter. You can give peace. You can give harmony. You can give knowledge. That's one of my favorites, giving knowledge and information. I'm a huge fan of that. So don't feel like, I don't have anything to give. Check in with this list. And I think that you're all smart enough to look at, give joy and then coming up with ways for that person in particular of how you can really make that person happy and give joy. And in doing that, that is the building of the relationship. Before we move into the action steps for tonight, and there's always 3 action steps at the end of each of these, I do want to touch on a really often overlooked piece of this law, and that's the receiving part. Because sometimes we're so busy driving, pushing, giving, right, that we're not open and we don't know how to receive. Now, this is a two-way street. This is a vital component of the process. For example, there's a time for giving advice, and there's a time for asking for it or listening to it as people are giving you advice. So I want you to focus on both parts of this. It is called the law of giving, but even in the text, he said, it really should be called the law of giving and receiving. So check in with yourself and see how your receiving muscles are as well while you're focusing on this law. Now, Deepak has 3 action steps for us to implement this law of giving, okay? The first one is, to quote him, "Wherever I go and whoever I encounter, I will bring them a gift." And to go back to the last slide, joy. It could be peace, harmony, knowledge. That's the kind of gifts we're talking about. It could be a smile. This doesn't have to be, a big, expensive limousine, massage, dinner. But, hey, anybody wants to buy that for me, go right ahead. I won't turn it down. In fact, I was so honored that one of my clients today brought me a card, and they gave me a 60-minute massage as a gift. So that's always appreciated too. But it doesn't have to be the big things, okay? The second thing is keeping in mind, today I will be grateful. Today I will gratefully receive all the gifts that life has to offer me. So it's going back to that receiving, those receiving muscles, okay? Keeping that in mind for the day. And then the third one is making a commitment to keep wealth circulating in my life. And that is, on one hand is about the people that you bump into during the day, about giving as you encounter them and receiving. But also don't forget about where you might be stagnating, where you might be holding on to the abundance in your life. So make a commitment to circulating the wealth that is in your life and may be bogged down right now.